Hi, happy 2024. Today is January 2nd, 2024. I am Sonia Starcrossed. Thank you so much for watching my channel. It's about all different kinds of crafts, but recently I've been pretty hyper fixated on cross stitch, so that's what today's episode is going to be about. And as always, here's Jack saying hi. I think Sally is cozied up on a blanket or a pillow. She might make her way in here at some point. It is cold in Texas today and a little bit rainy. If you hear a lot of banging sounds, that is my daughter. She has become obsessed with building IKEA furniture. We did some spring cleaning. She took my short bookcase to her room. So I ended up getting a third tall bookcase, and then realized my son didn't have a desk in his room, so we got him a desk, which she built, and then she wanted to build some more things. And we happen to have two shelving units that have just been sitting around for a couple years because we didn't use them for what we thought we were going to, and it just wasn't worth making the drive back to IKEA to return them. So she's building them and thinks she's going to find a place in her room. So anyway, that's what might be happening out there. Like I said, I had two of these short bookcases if you watched the craft room tour. So I just added, well, I guess two more of these tall ones, which I didn't realize how double stacked my books were. So I was able to undouble stack a couple shelves, and then I still have a pile on the floor. So I might need to go through and weed out a couple more. But other than that, everything's pretty much the same. Excuse me. Yesterday I had several stitchy friends come over. We had so much fun. I made waffles, and I had a variety of mimosas that most people didn't participate in. But we had a lot of fun hanging out for a few hours, just stitching and chatting. We ended up watching the documentary on HBO about the cult leader who turns blue from drinking silver. So that was interesting. And other than that, we just have fun hanging out, showing each other what we were working on. I did not participate in 12 by 12 because I actually love to go to sleep at night. I'm not the kind of person that sleeps in the morning and likes to stay nestled in bed. As soon as I wake up, I want to get out of bed and get the day going. But I do love to go to bed early. So I am usually headed to bed at 8:30 or 9. So yeah, I don't do Christmas Eve. But I did want to try to participate in the 12 by 12 thing that was going around, where people were starting 12 projects or working on 12 projects. So I did a modified version of that, and then / New Year, New Starts. So I'm going to show the 12 items that I worked on, and then I have a little bit of a haul after that. Oh, first I wanted to show off a couple of finished items. So, alright, so this is Christmas Tiny Town, or maybe Evergreen Tiny Town is what it's actually called, by Heart and Hand. It is stitched on 14 count Opal Ada Blue Blizzard by Zweigart. And I think I used the called for colors. I maybe made one or two, just changed the DMCs. But for the most part, it's called for. I don't love it. I don't like that you can barely see the white. I just don't like these colors very much, which I decided about halfway through and then just kind of kept going. I saw someone make a conversion on Instagram that was pinks and turquoises. So I think it's probably going to get redone. I didn't even put the buttons from the package on this. So maybe next Christmas or another Christmas, I'm going to redo it with better colors. And if I can find the Instagram of the person who made the pink one, I'll put that down below. So that was one of the only Christmas finishes I had this year. The other one, well, for myself. So the other one is this. This is the Quirky Quaker stocking. I did change up the colors And this is on just, I think, vintage country mocha. Yeah. The video before this is all the Christmas ornaments and stitches that I made for my family and a coworker. And so that took a lot more time than I expected, and I basically didn't get to work on anything else except this and the tiny town. So I'm going to overlay here those pieces that I made for, again, my sisters, my mother, my mother-in-law, and then my friend at work. So that took up a lot of time. So I guess technically I did have a lot of finishes, but as far as ones that I'm keeping, I only had 2 very small ones. So as far as the plans that I had for December to work on, the only one that I'm going to archive right now is the Evergreen Sal from Fat Quarter House shop. It was a free Sal stitch along, and this was as far as I got. So I think I just did the tree. It's all in the called for, and the fabric is just like a white opal Ada from Hobby Lobby. And I really enjoyed working on this, but then I realized I just had to focus on the Christmas presents. So hopefully I'll get back to this next year. All right, so now we're going to talk about my 12 by 12, 12 whips or 12 starts, 12. I worked on 12 projects. I did not work on it for 12 hours because, again, I like to go to sleep, and also I was hosting friends and making waffles, and I still had 2 kids and a husband and 2 dogs to entertain. So there was not 12 hours of stitching, but I did try to at least touch 12 projects. And after, towards the end of the video, I'll put a screenshot of my spreadsheet and how many stitches I put on each, which some of them only, I think one of them had 5. So anyway, this is the first one, and it is a holdover from Christmas season. So now we're kind of, it's Texas, so I just like I have a hard time with the autumn leaves and pumpkins and things like that. In the fall, I have a hard time stitching snowflakes because I mean, we did get snow like a few years ago, but we generally don't have snow. Today is the first day that it's really been cold enough to wear a sweater. It's going to be 75 again in a week. So yeah, I'm moving on towards spring, I guess is what I'm doing. And this is actually a Christmas stitch. So this is Deck the Halls by Satsuma Street. And it is on 18 count opal Ada raw linen. I had hoped to work on this over Christmas break, but didn't get to it. I did get some stitches put on it. Maybe I made like 2 points of the star yesterday. This is a very long bell pull. So even though that is technically a Christmas Deck the Halls winter holiday stitch, the colors are, like Satsuma Street usually does, on brand, are very bright, and so I'm just going to keep them around for the spring. Keep this around for the spring slash when I get tired of working on it. So that was number 1. And then number 2 on the same fabric is my pink, I call it the Pink House glitter from the Glitter Village. So check. Don't push the camera. So this is Glitter House number 2. It's the pink one. This is one of the ones that I've had kitted up for a while that I kind of carry around in my purse because it's very small. I yesterday just got some stitches put in. I think I went the pink under the window is what is new. So not very far on that, but it was one of the 12. And then this one is the Owl Forest Baba Yaga Autumn that I have totally not even charted. I'm just putting it in a different order. So I'll put that up over to the side. So what I did yesterday is I just worked on, I think I only got like 5 stitches in of the green vines. I had intended to get more, but the documentary got really interesting, and this is on 36 count opal Ada, and I just couldn't see without, while I was still paying attention. And the color is Stonewashed by Under the Sea Fabrics. Okay, then another I was ready for bed last night, and I was on 11, and so I just put like probably 10 stitches onto this. So this is And to All a Good Night by Lindy Stitches, and this is on 32 count Belfast Petite Mini Dot Linen by Zweigart. So I think I just put like 2 rows of the greenhouse just to say that I got to 12. I think I'm going to keep that one kitted up, even though it's Christmas, for a while, because such a big portion of that is that greenhouse, and I mean, that's year round. So, all right, then, so those are all the like fall or Christmas stitches that I am not putting away, even though the season is technically over. And then I also pulled out some that I had put away in the fall. So here is Strange and Unusual by Witchy Stitcher. It's just on some black Ada. So I think I just put like half a letter. Again, this was one right when I wanted to go to bed, and I just wanted to finish the 12. All right, so I pulled out Emo Birds as part of the 12. And this is by Lindy Stitches. It's on 16 count opal Ada. The color is Vampiric from Under the Sea Fabrics. And I just got a few stitches done on the middle bird's chest. When I put this away, I realized that the middle bird, the head, is the wrong color. So I need to decide if I'm going to pull that out or just make an adjustment. I'm probably going to make an adjustment, but I'll just have to like recheck where that color is being used when I make the change. All right, so those are all of the whips that counted as part of my 12, and now I have some of my new ones. All right, so this next one is Deep in the Heart of Texas by Screen Door Needleworks. And I looked up blue bonnet season, and I think it's the end of February or March, and I do at that point kind of take down Valentine's and put up all my like blue bonnets / Texas Pride decorations. So I'm just getting started on this one early so that maybe I might be able to get it up in time. And I worked on kitting this up. I didn't have very much, so I didn't get very much of a start. So I just got the very top of the blue bonnet because I had a color that kind of matched that. This is going to be stitched on an 18 count Ada Milk and Honey from Fiber on a Whim. And I was hoping to use make some changes and use thread from my stash. But then when I was looking at the threads that I have versus what they were calling for, I thought that one of the things that had really drawn me to it was the colors, the blue and the yellow and the red. So I think I'm going to wait to keep going until I can get at least some of those very on-brand colors from my local needle shop, which is Under the Sea Fabrics. So I'm planning to go there Thursday with a list, and then I can get back to working on this. So this is Baba Yaga by Witchy Stitcher. I had it kitted in I think maybe the summer and the fall, and just never got around to it. So I pulled it out yesterday and hoped to go ahead and get that started. So I did, and I just got the very, very top of the chart stitched, and this is going to be on, or I guess it is on, a 25 count opal Ada in the color Green Tea from Under the Sea Fabrics. So another new start is one for my daughter. She picked out this I don't know, maybe in the summer, end of the summer or in the fall, and we got it ordered, and I never started it because I was working on Christmas presents. So I'm going ahead and getting started on her Night Terrarium by the Tiny Modernist, and this is being stitched on 16 count Zweigart, just black Aida. All right, then I have 3 more that I worked on, and these are turning out to be problem children, so I don't know. I gotta work on this. So this one is Happy Spring by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, and I chose an 18 count Aida in the color A-I-N-E, Annie, I'm not sure, by Under the Sea Fabrics. It's kind of like a pink. And so I initially started here with some gray at the top, and then it seemed really small, and I felt like I was wasting a lot of the fabric, and I just couldn't pay attention enough to count it. So then I decided to start at the bottom and work my way up. So now that I have it off the hoop, I'm going to remeasure and recount and figure out if the gray is in the right spot, or if I just pull the gray out and cut the fabric in half and work from the bottom. All right, then my other start that confused me is I was trying to make the tiny towns the same sizes ish. And I thought that I had done all the measuring correctly, but then when I took this off the hoop to iron it, it didn't look right. But this is going to be Valentine, basically the Valentine Tiny Town by Heart in Hand. And this is on 18 count Opal Aida in the color Selkie by Under the Sea Fabrics. And I started one of the buildings, but it seems like it's taking up a lot more of the fabric than it ought to, so I need to remeasure and recount that, and I can't imagine that that's correct. So I might have to restart that one. And if I have to restart that one, then I'm going to have to restart this one because it's the exact same. This is Blooming Tiny Town, or Spring Tiny Town as I think of it. And I just, again, started in the corner on one of the houses, and it's the same count. So if I miscounted on the Valentine, I think I miscounted on this one. But at least they only have like 10 each. So those were my 12 by 12 that I worked on yesterday. Those are also the projects that I'm going to start working on in 2024. The only one that's missing from that is the Glitter House number 5, which is the church, just because it's in my purse and I haven't touched it. I maybe put like 5 stitches in it since the last time I showed it, and it wasn't part of the 12 by 12, and I'm very lazy, so I'm not going to go get it. So we're moving into 2024, I guess, with 13 whips, some of them with very little, but I'm really excited. So now I'm going to, I did do some shopping over the last month. I thought that I was going to film a video, but I didn't get to it. I know I mentioned that there was a video before this where I showed all the gifts that I made for my family and friends, but I don't know if I mentioned, like I talked about why I chose it, and then there's a couple of them sent me pictures of their gift in their home. So I also inserted those in the video. So definitely check that out. And then during that time, I obviously went to Under the Sea Fabrics a couple times, and then I also made it up to New Braunfels to go to the Golden Needle. The reason I was up in New Braunfels is I purchased this Singer Featherweight on Facebook. So I went up there to pick that up, and then I thought I would just go over to the Golden Needle and check that out. And I bought several things there. All right, so I think that I've kept this separate, which I bought at which store, but I might have confused some of them. So I got this Mill Hill kit with the boot. Of course, it's got all the stuff in it. Gotta love it because, you know, Texas. I got this. It is the Flanders Fields Biscornu by Heartstring Samplery. I picked up this. It is Merry Christmas, Y'all from Dirty Annie's. All right, and then she just had some fabric that I kind of looked through, and I found a few things that I liked. This is an 18 count Seraphim fabrics, and the color is poinsettia. So she just had some Ziploc bags with little small pieces, and so I picked up that one because it's pink. Then I also got this one. It's Peony, another 18 count cotton by Fiber on a Whim. More pink. And then I was wanting more white, but so this is White Opal in a 36 count linen by Zweigart. But it looks a little bit yellowy. We had a whole discussion. I even went out to my car and got my piece of white, which looks white, and this looks kind of yellowy. So I don't know, but I was like, well, that's not awful. So I mean, I'll still use it. And then I think I bought this one there. Teresa Kogut's Newcastle Bouquet. And I wanted to get this started during the 12 by 12, but I just couldn't decide what fabric to use, and I didn't have the threads, and so I might be trying to kit this up this week to take to a retreat. We'll see. I'm not sure. So then I also have been shopping at Under the Sea Fabrics. I can't remember if I've shown some of these or not, so I'm just going to show them again. So I got another project bag. This one is by Whip It Up. And it's got like mushrooms and skulls and snakes, pumpkins. So I'm keeping my big Baba Yaga in here. And all right, then I got some fabric. I got this piece. It's called Darkness Falls. It's a 16 count Opal Ada by Under the Sea Fabrics. But so it starts out kind of light and then turns dark, like a dark blue. So I thought that would be fun if I come across something that could go on that. And I bought this Summer Garden at Cranberry Manor, which I started kitting up. I think I'm going to put it on this autumn. It's a 25 count Opal Lugana. The color is Autumn by Under the Sea Fabrics, but I need to do a little bit more measuring and also buy some threads. So that one might be on my whip list next time. And then the last just kind of random thing that I purchased is I was on Etsy, and I don't even know how this came up or why this came up, or maybe it was eBay. I can't remember. So this fabric, which there are ornaments that you cut out and stuff and then sew together. So I think this angel, but definitely that yellow bird, and maybe the heart, I can't remember. My mom has had on our tree. She said that was one of the first ornaments that they got when they were married. A friend had given them to them, handmade, and so they're pretty old. And I saw this fabric, and I just bought it and thought it'd be fun to make them for my tree. So those are the early 2024 plans, and I'm not going to commit to these. You know, if something amazing comes up, then, you know, I might have to switch, of course. I don't mind archiving things for the seasons. I'm very seasonally focused. I know that there's a couple things coming in the mail that I'm going to want to start on. I've got a retreat, the Bare Bones retreat from Under the Sea Fabrics that I'm going to in a week and a half. So I'm excited about that. It'll be my first cross-stitching retreat. So I keep interrogating them, like, do people bring this? Do people bring that? Like, should I bring my own cushion? Should I bring my own chair? Should I bring my Lowry? So I used to go to a lot of scrapbooking retreats, and so, you know, I had like all my stuff ready to go and I knew what I wanted to take. But the good thing about this is that the hotel is probably like 20 minutes from my house, so really if I forget anything or need anything, I can just run home or, you know, beg my husband to bring it to me or something like that. But that is probably the next time I'll film, is after that retreat and show like what I worked on. But yeah, the other thing, so right now I'm going to put in just the spreadsheet of the stitches that I did for the 12 by 12. I actually have a whole like organizational process that I use to keep everything together, all the information about the projects that I'm working on and where my threads are at and what I have and what I don't have. So I might, while I'm talking, maybe put some screenshots of how I have things set up. I use a spreadsheet, I use OneNote, I use an app called Thread Stash, and then I use Pattern Keeper. It's an app for Android. If that's something that people would be interested in seeing, how I use technology to keep all my stitching organized, let me know in the comments and I can make an episode about that. Otherwise, you know, maybe my over organization is too much for other people, which, you know, wouldn't be the first time. But anyway, thank you for watching and see you in a few weeks.